President Obama's trip to Senegal aimed to bolster African investment opportunities for U.S. businesses, address development issues, promote democracy, and invest in the next generation of African leaders. One Senegal official briefs us on their talks with the U.S. president.
He met with a local businessman, and he met with the judiciary of, I think, 9 African countries approximately. The idea was this: democracy cannot thrive unless, the 3 powers, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, are all in their respective way strong. And, no matter how many laws, no matter how many written decisions you have, if people are not determined, to enforce law as it should be, that law is not going to be enforced. You get to have a legislation on the table, but you get to have determined lawyers, determined judiciary in order to implement things. So we talk to them in that respect, to trust themselves more and to understand the mission which has been assigned to them by the people and to implement it.
But what about President Obama's meeting with the civil society?
Clearly said that he trusted the African youth, number one. And if Africa had to move forward, the African youth should be given more responsibility, given the possibility to have more say in things. But at the same time, they should be given the wherewithal to enable them to empower themselves, that is to say, funding and education. He insisted strongly on education and said that in the area of education, more efforts will be made, and soon you will be seeing more and more African young people getting scholarships and going to study in the United States.
President Obama also made a commitment to support the effort of youth group in Yanama and others. According to Senegal President Macky Sall, Obama's visit repositioned the country on the international stage. Some Senegalese authorities expressed their disappointment.
The envelope Obama donated for the NEPAD African countries is not really big. In response to their needs, he just gave them $7 billion. And what is very sad is that he spent more on his trip than what he donated to the African countries. As a black man, we expected he would do better than his predecessors. This is the real disappointment we have from his trip.
The government officials said, contrary to Obama, when Clinton came to Senegal in 1998, he brought $180 billion for African countries, and President Bush $245 billion in 2003. People say they waited for some sort of accord to be signed by President Obama, or at least a public speak, but none came. Some considered the U.S. president's visit an inconvenience. Roads were closed, forcing people from work, and security everywhere was tightened. Others considered it a waste. Those millions of dollars, they say, would be much better spent on the people of Africa themselves. Kanon, CCTV, Dakar, Senegal.